shame to lose the confidence she earned from these parents and now break this community apart. Parents, trust her. Earl Warren would be a bad idea for us to move to anyways. It has been reported that they have no working library. We do. We have no problems with our water irrigation system conflicting with our running water for sinks and toilets. They do. We have updated technology installed last school year. That is document readers and new LCD projectors mounted on ceilings in every classroom. We have plenty of parking. They do not. Our cafeteria's kitchen was just remodeled recently. Several classrooms were painted the last few years. Milgard Window Gas Company donated to our primary classroom dual pane windows several years ago. It makes no sense. You would have to build more classrooms to accommodate the Bonnheim students at Earl Warren. More parking for staff would be needed. There needs to be a safe place for parents to drop off and pick up. Parking for parents will be a nightmare at Earl Warren. I've been over there. Lunch times would have to be extended to feed 900 plus children. More cafeteria and yard duty would have to be hired. Stuffing us in another school would be the wrong decision. Lastly, I hope you are not giving away our schools to Margaret Fortune to house the 10 charter schools she was given permission to set up in Sacramento County. Shame on you if you are. You will not be re-elected. You will lose the trust of all voters that voted for Prop 30, Measures Q and R. Everyone is very suspicious of the board's motives, and I hope you make it right for the children involved. If you need to save money, sell Cerna Center and Genesis High School. Get rid of unused space at that location, save our schools, do the right thing for our kids. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Junior Jimenez. I used to attend Joseph Bonnheim from pre-K to 6th grade. My mother is the PTA president here, and I have 2 brothers and 3 cousins going here. Board members, what are you doing for others? Is it what you want, making more stress for students and parents? What are you doing today to help build community and school sites for them? Are you really hearing this, or does it go one out through one year through the other? Are you making decisions no matter how the children's teachers and parents are trying to explain what will happen? We all feel you are really making a bad choice. You really need to see what is happening in the community. Please make good decisions and be a better man. Each year, Americans across the country answer the questions by coming together, the school board, to help the schools and serve the neighbors and communities to not close schools down. The parents and children are trying their best to be a part of Unite We Serve. The President's national calls to serve in Navy. It calls for Americans for all works of life to work together and provide solutions in our most pressing national problems. Please, Joseph Bonnheim, I am speaking out for others of schools, and I feel that we should not shut down schools. Can you try to see how others feel about not shutting all 11 schools down? There are 3 board members who agree why we are not making good choices and agree to this matter. Are you really hearing us for our children as well as the community? Thank you.
Good evening, Jonathan Raymond and board members. My name is Nancy Gilbert. I'm currently a volunteer in the Go to Gas room. Prior to that, I was a teacher for 44 years here at Joseph Bonnheim. I'm alarmed that you are considering closing this school and sending its students to Earl Warren. Many of our students walk to school. Some students in the neighborhood would have to walk 1.5 or 1.6 miles one way to get to Earl Warren. Why are you sending Bonnheim students to Earl Warren? Joseph Bonnheim has more space than Earl Warren. There are spare classrooms and room for portables and room for children to play. Earl Warren doesn't have a large functioning library. Bonnheim does. According to the district plumbers, Earl Warren can't run its domestic and irrigation systems at the same time. Bonnheim can. Bonnheim can be accessed by 21st Avenue, 73rd Street, and Marin Avenue. We have ample parking. Earl Warren does not have easy access or parking. Dropping off students at Earl Warren will be a nightmare. We should have the Earl Warren students come to Bonnheim. It would be a better fit. I am embarrassed that a school district like Sac City has come up with such an ill-conceived and expensive plan for school closures. Our parents and children deserve more thought and consideration from the school district than they have received. Put the children and our community first, and do not close Joseph Bonnheim.
Hello, my name is Erica Moreno. I have 2 children that attend Joseph Bonnheim Elementary. Today I want to talk about 2 challenges that too often end up as the wrong education battle. The first is the debate over the impact of in-school influences like teachers and principals versus the impact of out-of-school influences like poverty and poor health. The second related battle is over reforming teachers' evaluation system and the use and misuse of students' achievement data into teachers' evaluation. Before diving into these debates, I want to make a couple of points. I know what's possible when we give young people long-term guidance, educational opportunities, and the commitment of and connection of a caring adult. I know our students can be successful regardless of their zip code and background. What drives me every day is the recognition that we have this huge untapped academic and social potential that our nation is leaving on the table. I absolutely believe that education is a civil rights issue of our generation. Everyone who has worked with children knows that poverty matters and affects school performances. But everyone who has witnessed the life-altering impact of great teachers and great principals knows that the schools matter enormously, no matter their income or zip code. I believe we will save money no matter what, and what money can help the school's needs. We spent a lot of money to fix and be comfortable in our schools. Why waste the money we put in it? Let's stop defending the status quo when it hurts the children. Let's raise the rights of education battles. This does not make any sense. Please, we ask not to close the schools. It is important. Don't hurt our children, please. And with all respect, do what's right. We love this school. This is a wonderful school, and we need this school. You said you came to hear us. We gave you signatures on a petition to keep Joseph Bonnheim open. You have our trust in your hands. Don't abuse that. Listen to us and don't close our school. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, I'm Michael Madden. I apologize for some of the disruption I caused. I'm the district site advisor for Tall Elementary. We were the first one to have this, and they've been hearing it. First, what I want to acknowledge first and foremost is we're part of a unified school district. That means we're unified. No school has to close. It's a deliberate and calculated tactic to say, not ours, them. No, none of them. Okay, I got a heartfelt message from the superintendent of the schools on January 17th stating that it's not something we want to do, it's something we must do. Well, anybody that is a superintendent of a school district that must close 11 elementary schools in order to balance a budget needs to reevaluate their career choices in life because they're not qualified for that position. Okay? We are circulating right now, and this was my interruption, is quite honestly, these people are, like I said, it's calculated, it's deliberate, there's an intention behind it. What we have here, I only have a couple left, it's explaining it, and we can hand deliver them tomorrow if you can get them filled out tonight, and it's for the grand jury, because something needs to be looked at here. There are mixed books, mixed numbers, you know, this fictitious list, how can one day you be on the list and the next day you're not? I don't understand that. And that goes back to CEQA and the best. There are time-sensitive issues here, CEQA being one of them. We have traffic issues, which is an environmental impact. We also have, on the way up, got a bottle of water from this lady up here. I just happened to ask her at this store, would closing that school impact you at all? She said, well, yeah, it would. Wow, that's an environmental impact, but we have no CEQA reports. And none of this, it's not mandated, but it is required when property values will drop, crime rate will go up, and the bottom line is in the midst of all this, nobody has ever mentioned what's the best interest of these kids. Son, hold up that sign, okay? Because it's about the education for these children. This school belongs to us and our children, not some administrators that are making too much money. Thank you for your time.
I was somewhat perplexed as to why you would compare Sacramento Unified to Elk Grove districts. Those are newer school districts that were built with the intention of housing higher capacity amount of children. Sacramento school districts are older schools built as a neighborhood school system. And I didn't realize that my child comes with square footage. And I'm pretty sure that if your children were attending our schools would not be on your chopping block. But because they're not in your school district, they're not your priority. Teachers were the ones who diagnosed my son and realized that he had ADD. But you increase their class sizes, they're not going to have the time to sit there with each student and realize this child has a problem. Maybe we need to look into it a little further. Children like my child with special learning disabilities would be overlooked and passed on from teacher to teacher to teacher until he gets into high school and everybody's going to want to know why he dropped out. And I really encourage you to really think about the other problem I have with this plan is you're closing down 11 schools. You're closing 11 schools, but why didn't you do it 3 at a time? 3 this year and 3 next year, just to see how it will impact the community. The reason why is because once it's done, you can't undo it. So if you close 3 schools this year and realize that it impacts the community severely, then you know that you wouldn't be able to do the other 9 schools or 8 schools that you intended on. That's why you want to do all 11 at once, because you know that in the end it won't work. Thank you very much.
And Irene Connell, who has been at this school for 30 years as a yard supervisor. And let me tell you, I've seen it grow up. And when I first started here, we didn't have the bungalows. It was small schools. And then they stopped putting the bungalows. And then we got good teachers. They're terrific. They have 30 or 32 or 34 students in each class. If there are problems, like she says, they can't handle it. Instead of moving them up to another school, bring the teachers over here and hire substitutes. I don't know what's going on, but I'll tell you, I've seen mothers that send their kids over here and they know I'm still here. Because we take care of them. We love our kids and we show they are safe. We make sure that the parents know who we are. We don't have nurses, but we take care of them the way we can. We call home so they can come and pick them up. So why? Why? Think about it. Why don't you all teach a class for a week and see how it is?
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Jonathan Tran. I'm with Hmong Innovating Politics, or TIP. First of all, I actually want to thank the district staff. I know that many of you are put in a difficult situation advocating for policy that many of you might also have serious concerns about. So we understand that you're just following orders. And so our empathy is with you. You're not in an enviable position. The second thing is I want to reiterate what my colleague Cindy mentioned. Tomorrow at 4:30 is going to be a huge rally that Sacramento can stand united together as one community against these school closures. What we don't want to get into is a dialogue of choose that school versus this school, or that school, close the bad school and don't close my school. But this is really an opportunity for all of us to come together with teachers, with students, with parents, with community-based organizations to stand united against these school closures. The last 2 points I want to make is first, it's kind of strange that to have a school site meeting 2 days before the vote that's taking place of the vote. I know that there are folks up here scribbling like mad to make sure that they have all the notes necessary. Just so you know, the school board will take your considerations with all 1.5 days before the vote. So they may or may not withdraw your school from consideration like they've done other schools. So just in terms of due respect to parents, I think there's this continual disrespect and disregard for the parents' input. The last point I want to make is to really appeal to the district, to the superintendent. If these were your school children that were being pulled out of their schools and your lifestyle that was being forced to change, your first question or your first statement would be, you better have a damn good reason. And the reality is that the reasons of capacity and fiscal costs just simply do not add up. So we ask you, please work with the community. Do not rush this process through. We are more than willing to stand with you. If you need to find $2.5 million in the budget, let's work together to find those resources. Closing schools should be the last resort, not the first. Thank you so much.
My name is Janina Aragon. My son came to school 3 years ago, and before he didn't know nothing, and the teachers here are so concerned about students, each student. I think it's discrimination. I think it's, towards the minority that is here. I just don't think that they should go ahead and pin on the school that are in this area. Go out to Caleb, Greenwood, Crocker, they're low on their things. And when you guys are gonna go ahead and go at us, when that I know several parents here, they have to take their kids to 3 different schools. That means they have to get up a lot earlier. My son has to get up a lot earlier to go to school, and it's just not. What if something happens to our kids? What happened in Connecticut? How are we going to know what happens to our kids? How can we be near our children? I live on the other side of the street, and I could be here in 5 minutes. I love all these kids. I know some of the kids, the majority of their names. I think that we as a community are built together. I mean, you gotta stop and think. People are paying for gas just to get to over there. I mean, how about the ones that are walking? I mean, we all need to consider on things that we have to do. I mean, we gotta clean, we gotta do this, we gotta pay rent, we gotta do all kinds of stuff. Think about our children. Our children are victims here. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Mary, and I'm 6th grader here at Just Bonnheim. Just Bonnheim has been here since September 22nd, 1952. Being around for 61 years has created a sense of happiness and history that other schools might not have. This feeling can't be bought, sold, or taken away. Just Bonnheim should close. First of all, Just Bonnheim does things differently than other schools. We have Valentine's dance, a movie night, and even multicultural fairs. Tragically, sending 418 students to Earl Warren, which already has 493 people, can be a disaster. The picking up and dropping off of students may cause more people to be late or get hurt. The schoolyard would be crowded and it would waste money to move our portables to their campus. Most importantly, students may lose attention or cause trouble to get some. Instead, they may pay less attention in class, which can get them in trouble. This can cause other students to receive less of the admiration that they deserve. Seeing Joseph Bonnheim Elementary School go would be a tragic sight. Please, from all the students at Joseph Bonnheim Elementary, don't close our school.
My son goes here, and 2 little cousins go here, and I went here. And the thing that I think all of you have forgotten is that my son, my cousins, and all these little kids that go to this school, they're not a physical equation. They're actual people. They belong to the school. They believe in this school. And I've been to your presentation at the Serna Center, and I read all your materials, and you just keep telling me how my son is a number. And that's all he is to you and the board. And he's not just that. He's a person that has hopes and dreams and a future, regardless of what you're trying to do to stop his future. He will survive, and will all these kids, because this room is full of parents who care. I don't think that any of you realize that this is a community school and it deserves a chance. And I know that if you go to another school in a more prominent area, you wouldn't need all the translation services that you need here. And that's why you chose this school, because you know you can get away with it, and not for the right reasons. These kids are coming from 2 language homes, and they're making it. This school isn't on your priority list because the teachers believe in these students, they believe in their parents, and they work together. They're a school that is succeeding, and all you're doing is showing these kids that if you succeed and do everything right, you're still going to get screwed over by government. You're not doing anything for these kids besides hurting them. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Pamela Jimenez, and I'm the PTA president here at Joseph Bonnheim. I just wanted to say that Joseph Bonnheim Elementary School is important and a part of our community. Closing the school or overcrowding, it will be a big mistake. Please don't close our school. It will be like taking away a part of the American dreams. Joseph Bonnheim is a divisor, united and growing every day. We are here to stay. Please let us not forget the children, our future. I just wanted to say that we're a part of it here, and this is our family. So if you're going to take away and then depart our family from here, then how is everybody going to have a good education? That's the main important thing. It's not about money. It's not about whatever you guys are doing. It's about our love and caring here, and our health and safety here. Because, I mean, we're having storms and all that going on here, and the students ain't going to want to walk to school if they don't have no car or vehicle or anything. I know for sure we don't have no bus to bus us to get to where we got to go to that school. So, you know, we just need our community here and our neighbor and our students, our principal, and we need us to keep our school here. Because if you try to depart us, you know what, going to another school with a bunch of kids, and the kids are all packed in, and we're all going to be stressed out. You know, not just for the children, it's going to be the parents as well. So, you know, if there's always children that need help, and there's children that are smart. But, you know, if we're all together here, what we need to do is not to keep the school, you know, together in our district. We need to not go and have open enrollment, lottery. If that's in the case, then we should just stay in our own community here and our neighborhood to keep our school here, to be safe. You know, because why are everybody spreading everywhere and be able to go where they want to go? That's where we are spending our money. Because if you just take us to the school that you want us to, okay, say that we go there, does that going to make you think that you're going to have that quantity of students in there? No, it might be less, because they don't want to go to Air Warren. They're going to start going into the open enrollment, the lottery, and go every other school. So you're not going to have your number the way you said you're going to have that classroom of 33 or 35 or 45 students in there. It's not possible, and especially for elementary kids. They're not high school or junior. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Martin Dominguez. I'm a parent of 2 kids that are here at the school. I'm from a Ilac and Lila community also, and I'm very sad that they're trying to close the school. My question is, every time you guys have a deficit, it's going to be a closing schools all the time? I mean, they should be reasonable with what you guys do. Is it the right answer? By putting more students to the schools, it's going to be not only complicated for the teachers, it's already complicated, especially teaching second language people, minority. So it's like nobody cares at the top. By doing this is the right answer. So what they say, that's okay. Just close another school is minority only. That's the right answer. That's all they can come up with. We have to be certain that you guys do the right answer for every school you're trying to close. I would like to see that you guys come up to every school and see how they work in the schools. We got a great principal that she's been doing a great job. Great work working with all the community. And we love our school teachers also. My kids are very satisfied with the school, with the teachers, and they do the effort. They sad because they heard that the school is going to be closed. Not only that, but as parents, as Latinos, we hear that our school is going to be closed. We just say, well, we got to deal with this, whatever he comes up with. If we talk, they're not going to listen to us. Please, do something right. It's not the right answer just to close the school. Please, try to save our school. Thank you.
Testing. I'm Lisa. I'm the Vice President of the PTA here at Bonnheim. And I just want to say a few things. I think the district should reconsider and follow the Department of Education's recommendation, at least a 7-month process, so that us parents in the community can be more involved, sit down and make a real plan, because I don't think closing 11 schools, 12 schools, 15 schools is going to be the answer. And that's kind of what I'm seeing in the future of my kids. I'm thinking about college, junior high, high school. If you close down all these schools, my kids are little, so when they get a little bigger and something happens like this again and we need to save maybe $5 million or whatever it is, we'll just keep going. It'll be like a domino effect. So that's my concern, is when they go to college. I'm hearing Hiram Johnson may close down because there's not enough enrollment. We need more than figures, more than numbers. And I think what's important to a lot of people, and also myself, as a parent and a working mother and part of this community, is the kids' education, their academics. How are we going to balance out, like we were saying, bilingual, multicultural? You're bringing, let's say there's 200 in one school, we're bringing 400 together. Okay, how are we going to accomplish those needs? Teachers, we need more teachers if we're going to do that. We're not going to have 60 kids in one class. We've already got 32 to 35 in kindergarten, which is a handful because I've been in there volunteering and I know. The teachers have a hard time. That's a lot of kids. My other concerns is police. We were talking that, we heard that you had been talking to the chief of police, that we were going to have some police. I'm not much for the crossing guard. It's a good idea, but I'm more about safety and protection for my kids. Like the incident that happened in Connecticut, I want police there. If you're going to move us out to the drug neighborhoods, we need police force. We need safety for our kids. And also on the medical side, nursing, we need more injuries, more fights, more kids on campus, yard duty, etc. How are we going to balance that out? Now remember, the kids, when they change over, they're going through a social thing as well. They'll redevelop friends, teachers, they'll have to start all over again. So what are we going to do with those students? And also after-school programs. Are we going to have 2 after-school programs? And if we are, I want somebody on campus to be security, because that would be a lot of kids. You're doubling up everything. So that's what I want to say, that we put the children first and to reconsider that and give us a chance. And if you need help finding $2.5 million, I'll be more than happy to find it for you. I know a lot of hospitals that would be happy to donate. The medical field saves for children's education. And I can maybe work on that, get temporary for now, and we can work on other things together. But bring us together as parents and working people. Give us the voice that we deserve and for our children. Thank you. Thank you.
My name is Elizabeth Ray. I have 2 students who come here. I have twins in 5th grade, and my son went to school here all throughout. But 50 years ago, my mom went to school here. Over 20 years ago, I went to school here. How many other generations are in this school? You have several. It's not right. We're all a community. I bought a house in this neighborhood because of the school. I live 3 blocks away. I love this school. I do not want to see it closed. It's not fair. You want to close Earl Warren. That's the school you need to close. That school is on a busy street, and one of our children could die because you put them in a busy intersection. It's not fair to our children what you guys are doing. You need to keep our school open. It's not fair. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Rudolph Jimenez. I'm a graduate of Joseph Bonnheim. I have several questions. She touched on safety. A lot of other people have touched on safety as far as traffic is concerned. Who is going to be held liable if a child gets hit by a car, crushed by a car at Earl Warren? It would be you, the school district, the individuals on the board. 2, how much money is currently being spent for these surveys that you guys are doing to close down these schools? I didn't see no numbers up on the board, so that's my question. 3, Errol Warren was built in 46. Bonnheim, 52. Come on. We're the newer school. The only place where we've spent more money than Errol Warren on a physical budget, according to the analysis, is our HVA system. Our older part of our school does not have that. Unfortunately, we spent money at Errol Warren, they have it, and they spend less on energy. But if we have it and can get it, instead of spending money on bungalows and other stuff to transfer our students over there, we would cost less to run the school. And also, if we fail to give the undivided attention to our great melting pot of students, and I mean by different races here, and there's quite a few, if we leave or miss one, just one, guess where they can end up at? Being a male or a female can end up a gang member. 2, can end up a mother with no father. 3, undereducated and being supported by the system, SSI, welfare, etc. Or, the last resort, end up in prison or dead. Now who's going to bear that responsibility? You, the board members? Because I know if it ends up that way for the family members, we as family members, our whole family here today, will suffer those consequences and see those things happen to our children. And none of us want to see that happen to any child in this community or any other community. So think about what you guys do. Think about it. That's all I ask. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Judy Johnson, and I'm the library media tech here at Joseph Bonnheim. Do I want to see Bonnheim closed? Of course not. Do I want to see any of the schools closed? Of course not. I can echo many of the comments made here tonight on safety programs here at Bonnheim. You've heard from me before. But I want to bring up the proposal. The proposal was brought up to the parents and schools just in January. Since that time, 1 month, you've adjusted the numbers. Our school, which I'll speak to because that's the numbers I've got memorized, originally had a capacity, according to you, of 997. But then you adjusted it down because you took off the library, the space for the library, you took off the space, or lowered the amount of space for the special ed rooms, and now we're down to 955, which of course doesn't compare to the classroom loading you had in your facilities report last June of 597. So a big discrepancy there. That's one thing you've done so far in this month. And then you've gone ahead and you said, well, wait a minute. We were going to close Tahoe. Well, we didn't look at Mark Twain to see what that situation was about. Now we got to readdress that situation. How many more readdressing is going to happen if you make the vote to close 10 schools and then one more later? And then you realize, oops, the proposal was flawed. We forgot to look at this. We didn't look at that. This didn't work out. You've only had 1 month and there's been 2 errors in the proposal already with adjustments made. How many more will there be? It needs to be readdressed how you balance the budget, not closing schools. Thank you.
My name is Daniela Garcia. I am a community leader. Many people have come to this school, this presentation, and all of the others, and they've asked for answers. And like yourself and many others, you stand mum. Why? Because you've been directed not to answer the questions. You've been directed to advise the citizens that we're going to take your information down and we'll provide that. Now, the last time someone said that, they said, we'll provide that in a few days, and that was just 20 minutes ago. A few days equals more than 2. And therefore, doing the math, that means it's the 22nd. But I suspect the person who said that really meant a couple of days, which would get us to the 21st, which would still leave us naked. naked to the world without any answers. Unfortunately, we teach our children that there are answers in the world when you ask a question. But you, and other leaders such as you, don't do that because you fail to take your own good advice that you've given to your children and someone else's children. Darrell Steinberg, a very good friend of mine, wrote a letter about saving the losing team called the Kings. He wrote that to Seattle, but he didn't write a letter to the school board. He didn't write a letter to the County Board of Ed saying, let's hold off for a minute until we really get involved, the parents and the students and the teachers, into a conversation that's not a battle between this school and that school. We're back where we were before I was born, when race was against race, when funds were against funds, when time was left for no one. And all of these citizens who sit before you bring their children, and all we do is beg, as we did for a morsel of food. I begged to be educated before I was born, but I had to wait until society said that I was less than half of a person, and that it was my right. When we do what we are doing now to the students and their parents, we send a clear signal which says, do as I say, and not as I do. Do what I tell you to do, because I'm going to close your school. Do it when I say I'm going to do it, because you really have no say. And like it, because eventually you'll come around. Forget about fueling up, setting off sparks, and bouncing back. You'll make it. You're the lowest of the low and the poorest of the poor. And you mean a lot to us, but not right now.